we're going to do the 5-minute flow for a warm-up, which is basically just moving everything in the body. No, not like that. So you're going to start just like this. And you're going to start at the top of your head and you're just going to move everything and it's in the direction it's supposed to move. So, the first one, you're just going to move your neck back and forth. Move it, that's holding.
I'm not a good model.
And then kind of move it backwards. Not too much forwards because we do enough of that during the day. Move it back to straight. Now go move to the traps. And you're going to just lift them. Then you're going to move to middle traps. You're going to. Now if you want to do a double on this one, you can also go forward and back. It's like the cat and the cow. You just do it standing.
Cat cow.
So we're going to move on to the shoulder. We're going to lift it straight up, like that, and down behind your back, and touch, yep.
How many of each? You need to be very specific so they know what to
Well,
do.
it's not a specific thing, it's you warming up your body. So it's what feels nice for you. Some people want to spend more time on the shoulders, less time on the traps. When you feel ready to move on, we'll move on to the forward. So another range of motion for the shoulder. The shoulder has a lot of ranges of motion, so we'll stay here for a little while. Now for the last, we got 2 more shoulders. You do this, and then up.
Like at the same time?
Far back, and then up. So this is a flexion extension.
I'm feeling it.
So now come to the middle here.
Okay.
You're going to go straight backwards, then forwards.
You ready to do this one?
Did we already do this?
I think we did. Yeah, my
Well,
shoulders are on
You're
fire.
going to hold up and you're just going to spin. Rotation of the shoulder.
Whew!
Alright, let's move on to the
Woo! Woo! Woo!
So this is the movement of the chest, a little bit more. And if you twist while at the same time, then that puts in the torso.
No! Our bag fell. It was my fault.
Okay. Move on to some of these, touching the sides of the knee. Unfortunately, we spent way too much time on the upper body and talking. Alright, let's move on to the hip. So my first one I like to do is straight down, and then come back up. And kind of lean back a little bit and push out the, yep. Alright, stand straight. If you want to hold on to something, you can. If you don't, you're going to straight out with the leg, sideways with the leg, and back with the leg.
I'll do a different view too.
Now the other one.
This is my bad leg. Well, my bad leg. I just have a weird hip.
I hit this one.
It still pops when I move it.
Okay, now you're gonna stick out the leg. You're gonna rotate it just slightly. Not too much. You can just be right in front of you. And then the other one. Now leg up. You're gonna move the knee. Now with these I do like 8, and then I put down the leg, and then I do the hamstring version. And then the other leg.
Okay.
Now you're going to do up on your calf at the same time. You're going to twirl the wrists and the forearms. And you're going to move. It's not holding, it's moving. And you can go reverse direction. Now for the very last thing, wide stance. You're going to bring both hands down to one leg, wide. Down to one leg and then up. This guy. 5 each side. And just feel your whole body kind of stretching and warming.
I like this one.
And then the other side. Okay. So the point of this is to lubricate the joints, to get the muscles back to their normal elasticity, their baseline elasticity. This isn't going to increase your flexibility, you know, that's not the point of it. We don't want to stretch before we work out because we're not trying to increase our flexibility before we work out. It actually makes, if you stretch before you work out, it's going to relax your muscles too much and it's not good for you. So this kind of stuff is what we want to be doing. Okay, so we're going to talk about working out, especially if you have separated abs. The first thing we want to do is to understand the idea of pulling the abs in. The vacuum. I think that's what Arnold called it, Schwarzenegger. So a lot of people think the vacuum or the draw in is sucking your gut, and that's not exactly what it is. You want to focus on pulling down here, below your belly button, and pulling it towards your spine. Sucking in basically this, pulling it towards your spine as hard as you can.
Show me,
If you want.
I'm not the best at it, but let's see.
And at first thought, you're like, oh, she's just sucking her stomach, but the focus is here, low, trying to get to work the transverse. Now, it's kind of important that you do this while you do everything. Not to that extent, but it's important that you're doing this a little bit and to concrete yourself structurally every time you do something. So that'll bring us to our first superset of work, which is going to be a push-up hold mixed with a wall sit. These are both isometric.
Does she need a timer?
Yeah.
Or just maybe follow along in the video? Can you time it from the video?
No, because everybody's going to be different.
Okay. Well, get yourself a timer, like your phone or something.
So the goal is to go until you just about can't go anymore. It's going to burn, especially with isometric stuff. So up we go into the push-up position, and you want to make sure that you're not sagging. Once again, that comes from...
You need to point to the body part.
Well, don't sag here. Notice she's up a little bit because she's pulling in the abs. That's what you want to do.
So like this?
Yeah.
This versus that.
And it does make it harder. And if you want to make it more challenging, just walk your feet forward over your hands. And the farther you're over your hands, the more challenging it becomes. So you're going to hold this until you just about can't anymore. For purposes, we'll just have Bethany stop. And then you're going to go right into a wall squat. So you're going to go against the wall. You're going to get a 90-degree angle in the knee. And you're going to keep the hands off the legs so that you're not supporting yourself at all. Once again, you're going to draw the stomach in a little bit. And you're just going to, it's really important that you draw in. Because if you don't, then your air in your lungs is going to push your belly out, and that's going to separate things more. If you're not drawing in, you could make things worse with separated abs.
So you want to get your whole spine on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's flat against the wall.
So you can be done. So that is the first one. I'd recommend doing that. That's called a superset, 2 exercises back to back. I recommend doing that 3 times with about a minute rest. So you do the push-up hold, then you do the wall sit, and then you rest a minute, and you do it again. And how long you do each of those depends on you.
All right, advanced version
Is push-ups. But a very special push-up we like to call eccentric push-up. So essentially what the eccentric portion is it's eccentric is the lengthening of the muscle. So right now Bethany is in isometric hold. When she goes down, this is the eccentric portion of the push-up, going down to the ground. And when she comes up, it's the concentric. So the goal of this push-up is actually to go down very slowly. Just spend about 10 to 15 seconds lowering yourself to the ground. So let's try that, Bethany. Go. So it's almost hard to see her moving. So you have 5 seconds. 10 seconds. 15, now come up.
Woo! Woo!
Up you come. So that's you literally can do 2 of those and you can be done. They're not easy at all. And then for the second part, where you can, instead of doing the wall sit, you can do a squat in the same manner. Going down, start for 15 seconds or more because the legs are stronger. Now there's several ways to do this. For this purpose, we'll just have her go down for 15 and then pop right up. And then maybe she can do another one. However, another version we like to do is you go down for 15 seconds, you come up for 15 seconds. This is an easy way to do only a couple reps of a bodyweight exercise while really working. So this is a advanced option for the first superset. You can start with the isometric, or if you feel like it's too easy, move on to this one. Okay, so we are going to do the next superset, which is going to be for the kind of the hinging muscles. We're going to be doing a Superman hold mixed with a hip thrust.
Am I in there? Okay.
So the Superman's a pretty easy one. You simply use this part of your body as your fulcrum, I guess, and you lift your upper body off the ground like that. Now if you want to, you can lift the lower body too, but we're already going to be working the hips, so try doing it just lifting the upper body and see how it feels. It's important that once again you do try and keep your abs tight, so that we don't, if you feel like this is making your abs separate more, then obviously we can't do it, but it should be a good worker. If you want to make this one a little harder, you can bring the arms back and then back around, like you're making a snow angel in the air. And if you want to make it even more terrible, you can get weights, little 2-pound weights, and do it. So the closer your heels are to your bottom, to your glutes, the closer they are, the easier it's going to be, and the easier it's going to be on your glutes. The farther out you go with your feet, the more pressure will put on hamstrings, the harder it will be on your glutes and hams. So let's bring them in, and let's do the glute raise. fairly simple. Once again, you need to vacuum this in when you do this, otherwise it will push your abs out, down, and you can do either isometric hold of this, or you can do reps. I would honestly recommend reps because I don't feel as much with the isometric hold.
How many? How many times?
Once again, these are all about how you feel. You need to make these, you need to take these until you almost can't take them anymore. You don't want to go to the point where you can't go anymore. You want to go right up to that point. Advanced. We're going to give her a stick, and she's going to do a Superman pull-up. She can go under or over the head. And this, you might think it looks not that hard, but especially the lower you try and bring the stick to your belly button, the worse it's gonna, you're going to really feel it. So then you're going to pop over on your back. Actually, you want to face this way real quick.
What?
We're going to show them advanced.
Oh.
So we're bringing a chair for the advanced. That's make it see it. Put your feet up on this chair. This is for advanced superset. And you're going to do that same glute bridge with your feet up. Once again, reps vary on the burn.
I could do a ton of these.
And if you can't do a ton of these, you can switch to one leg. And then even out the legs, you know. Okay, so we'll show the downward dog real quick. Get into a push position and bring yourself backwards. If you do want to walk the feet forward a little bit, if you get a little more, to let your shoulders build a little bit more, that's fine. You're going to hold this for hopefully up to a minute, between 30 seconds and a minute. If you can go more, go more. The goal is to strengthen the shoulders here by holding this position. Alright, so we'll show the lunge. The lunge hold. So it's kind of like a yoga pose too.
The warrior
You don't want to be way over this way. You want to try and be straight up and down. And you're going to come down. Hopefully until this is about a 90 degree. And you can even try and get a little stretch here in the hip flexor at the same time. Just try and keep yourself straight up and down. You're going to hit this once again, 30 seconds to a minute. And if that's too easy, we will have an intermediate or an advanced version of this. Make sure and keep the ab tight in and flex the glute of the leg that is forward while you do this. And then you just switch, however long you do it on one leg. You usually want to do your left leg first forward because your left leg will be weaker. And whatever you do with your left leg, you need to do with your right leg. Whatever you do with your right leg, you need to do with your left. So if you do want to push your left leg more than your right, you can do your right leg first, time it, and then force yourself to do the same on your left. Go?
Yeah.
Oh. So for advance of this superset, which is the downward dog with the lunge hold, the advance will be the downward dog push-up or the pike press, which is a little different of position. You get a better peek here. Go up on your tiptoes, and you will literally go down and press that. This is not easy in any way. And if you want to do just little half reps, that's good too. The next in the superset will simply be the eccentric lunge, which you will start up in a lunge position like this. And you will once again time yourself, and you will lower yourself for 15 seconds, lowering very slowly, timing yourself. You're at 10 seconds. And then when you're at 15, you go back up for 15 seconds, slowly. So these are 15-second reps, up and, well, they're 30-second reps. So when it comes to doing these, you want to, if for example, when you want to make sure you're getting burned by everything. You're getting a good burn in the muscles. You feel strengthened by them. If 1 rep isn't enough, if 30 seconds isn't enough, take it longer. It's really up to you because I'm not there to be able to say this is how much you should do. So the first one is just going to be the simple halfway crunch. And that's literally all it is you pull in your stomach as tight as you can to your spine, and you raise your shoulder blades off the ground and put them back. Now another way to do this is to place your elbows on the ground and to push up lightly with your elbows while you do this. And it lets you go a little higher. This doesn't work if you do not bring your stomach in. So now flip over.
Woo!
The same thing goes with the plank. You can do a plank. A lot of people tell you not to with separated abs. You can only do it if you come up, make sure there's no sag, make sure that your bottom is up and that your low back is even up a little bit, and you pull your low abs up into your spine. You should literally have this little almost partial tent, this little peak in your low back as you pull your abs up. If you relax and just, like a lot of people do with plank, it's gonna bring your abs out way more.
Can't do it.
So bring yourself peaked up, and the farther you walk your feet backwards in a plank, the harder it is going to be.
Woo!
To do those, I once again would probably superset the both of those between 15 to 30 seconds of each back to back, and then rest 30 seconds and do it again 3 times. So I'm supposed to conclude, because I'm not there, it really falls to you to build your own reps and time.
Be aware.
Of course, if I was there, I could give you tests, see how much reps we should be doing, and watch it. If you do want to record yourself doing some of it, and I can watch it and see and maybe gauge where you're at, but it's up to you to take these exercises. The important thing is make sure to superset a lot of them together. The two, the ones I've shown you, superset them, rest, then superset them again, rest, superset them again. So 3 sets of every single one. And if you do it quickly, resting only the allotted amount of time, you should be able to get it done pretty quickly.